Oh, how good morning. It's another day here on Harry TV. We're talking about Jesus again. We're preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. We're going through Mark's gospel. Mark's good news. The gospel means good news. Mark's good news, and it is good news. The fact that Jesus came, that God left the heavens, came down to earth, becoming a human being and living among us to show himself to us. And he gave himself to die on the cross and was raised the third day to give to you and I the hope of eternal life. That's the good news. What Jesus did, who is God, because he loved us. And he gave himself for us. He came to earth so that we might know who God is. God is a God of love. He created us out of love. He wanted someone that would love him. He created us as free moral agents so that we were free to be able to love him or hate him. And it was our choice. But he created us because he wanted to be loved by us. What's sad is most of us hate Jesus. Most of us hate God. But there are a few that choose to love him back. And that's the ones that belong to him. That's the predestined. That's those that are predestined to him. And that's the reason why the gospel goes out. That's why we have the New Testament letters telling us about Jesus and all that he did. Telling us about the hope that we have in Jesus. It's done for those, the predestined, those that would believe. That's who Jesus came to seek and to save. He came to seek and to save those that were lost. He came to heal the sick. He did that. But his main goal was to give eternal life to those that would believe that he is who he claimed to be. We're going to look today at Mark chapter 7. We're going to begin with verse 24. He got up and departed from there to the region of Tyre. He entered a house and did not want anyone to know it, but he could not escape notice. Instead, immediately after hearing about him, a woman whose little daughter had an unclean spirit came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Gentile, a Symphoenician by birth, and she was asking him to cast the demon out of her daughter. He said to her, "Let the children be fed first, because it isn't right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs." But she replied to him, "Lord, even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." Then he told her, "Because of this reply, you may go. The demon has left your daughter." When she went back to her home, she found her children lying on the bed, and the demon was gone. A woman had a daughter who was demon possessed. She would have all kind of fits. Well, go into trances. This demon was taking over her body, taking over the little girl. And this woman knew that Jesus could take and heal her daughter and cast the demons out. He said, Lord, please, please, release the demon that's in my daughter. I'm not asking for myself, but I'm asking for my child. He said, let the children be fed first, because it isn't right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs. You take care of the children. Look out for the children. In another place, Jesus said, anyone that would harm a little child, one of these little ones, the least of these little children, is not fit to live. Make sure that the children are fed. In your home, when you're raising your family, mom and dad, it's important to make sure that you give your children everything they need to sustain life. You feed them, you give them shelter, you put clothes on their back so they're not running around naked. You take care of the children first. You see to their needs. Make sure they have what they need. You may have to go without a little bit, but don't let the children go without. It's not right to take the children's bread. You know, it's not right for a man who's a drunkard, an alcoholic, who drinks his beer. He's going to have that beer, and if the kids have to do without milk or bread, that's just too bad. But Jesus is saying here, you make sure the children are fed. You want to drink? You want to get drunk? Fine. But you make sure you feed those children. Don't let the children go without. You know, the woman replied to Jesus, Lord, even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs. You know, the dogs, the animals, even they have something to eat, but they eat the crumbs that the children don't eat. The children have what they need to eat. Yes, I take care of my kids. And because of this reply, Jesus said, you may go. The demon has left your daughter. You're taking care of your child. You're taking care of your kids. You're a good mom. The demon is gone. And when she found her child lying on the bed, and she found the demon was gone, Jesus had cast that demon out. He didn't have to go to the demon. He didn't have to go to where the daughter was. Because of the faith that Jesus is God and that he can heal, he can cast out demons, because of faith, that woman's faith, the daughter's demon was gone. It's by faith you and I are saved. It's by faith demons are cast out. It's by faith that we are healed of our diseases. Faith in what? Faith in Jesus, that he is who he claimed to be. Faith. Again, leaving the region, this is verse 31 of Mark 7. Again, leaving the region of Tyre, he went by way of Sidon to the Sea of Galilee, through the region of the Decapolis. They brought to him a deaf man who had difficulty speaking and begged Jesus to lay his hand on him. So he took him away from the crowd in private. After putting his fingers in the man's ears and spitting, he touched his tongue. Looking up to heaven, he sighed and deeply said to him, Ephrath, that is, be opened. Immediately his ears were opened, his tongue was loosened, and began to speak clearly. He ordered them to tell no one, but the more he ordered them, the more they proclaimed it. They were extremely astonished and said, He has done everything well. He even makes the deaf hear and the mute speak. Jesus heals a man that is deaf. He can't hear. I'm beginning to understand that feeling. I still have some hearing, but I wear these hearing aids to help me hear. There are certain tones I don't pick up at all. If you don't speak up to me, I'm not going to know what you said. I can still hear some, and I can still talk. The Lord still gives me voice. He gives me voice to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ, to share the good news about Jesus. That's why I'm here. That's why God has put me where He's put me. But here's a man that was deaf. He could not hear. He could not speak. Nothing would come out. He might make grunts, but you couldn't understand. If there's any noises that came, he didn't know it. He couldn't hear. Have you ever been around somebody that's completely deaf and mute? I tell you, it's hard. They have a whole entirely different language that they teach with, where for people to speak using their hands for those that are deaf and dumb. But this man couldn't hear. Jesus took him off privately, and he healed him. He spit. He spit and put some spit up in his ears. Looked up to heaven and prayed and said, be healed. The man was healed. The man's ears were restored. He had perfect hearing. Don't you know he had perfect hearing? He probably could hear better than most people had been hearing all their life. And he could speak and be understood. He said, but listen, don't tell anybody about what's done. He ordered them, don't you tell nobody about who did this. But they couldn't help it. The man, he could hear and he could talk. He couldn't help it. Jesus did this to me. The Messiah, Jesus. He gave me my hearing. And now I can speak. He couldn't help it, but he had to proclaim Jesus. He says he's done everything well. He even makes the deaf hear and the mute speak. Healing. Casting out demons. This is Jesus. Oh, goodness gracious. It's by faith. When we believe in Jesus Christ as the Son of God, as he said, if you believe that I'm the Son of God, you have eternal life. If you believe that I am who I claim to be, you can be healed. You can be saved. Believe. Trust. For there's no other way. Salvation comes to those who believe that Jesus is who he claimed to be. It's just that simple. Not everyone is going to accept Jesus. Not everyone is going to believe. They're going to continue on. They're going to continue on in their wicked ways. They're going to continue living for themselves, not taking thought of anything but what they want. They don't care. They don't care if they go to hell. They don't care what happens. Oh, I want all the gusto in this life I can get. I'm going to live for now. Who cares about the future? Who cares about after this life? The only thing I know is this life, and I'm going to live for it. I'm going to do what I want to do. But for those that believe that Jesus is God, they know in their hearts there's something beyond this life. Eternity, eternal life. Going and living with God forever and ever. We will live forever. We know that, and that's why we believe. We want something beyond this life. If this life is all I have, and then I die, what's the purpose? What is the whole purpose of even being here in this life? If this is all there is, there has to be something more. You believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God? You can come to him. God has a plan for mankind. That plan for mankind is below. Read it. Do it. Believe and obey. For there's no other way. Believe that Jesus is who he claimed to be. Will you come to Jesus today? Will you give your life to him? Will you have the demons in your life be cast out of you? Whether it be the demon of alcoholism, the demon of drugs, the demon of sexual immorality, whatever your demons are, will you quit thinking just about yourself and thinking about that there's more to life? And will you accept Jesus today? Will you come to him? I pray that you will. There are those that realize that there was something special about this man, Jesus. He was God. And they believed, and they were healed. Will you believe today? God bless till I talk to you next time.